Hi, boys and girls. Miss Belanca back again to talk to you about your five-finger retelling. I know we're continuing to practice that, so you should be able to do more and more of the retelling on your own. I have a new story to share with you, and it's called Off We Go, a Bear and Mole Story by Will Hildenbrand. I need to look at the cover of this story before I read, because good readers never just dive into reading. They have to think about it first. I see bear and I see mole, so I'm guessing the story is going to be about them. The title is Off We Go, and I see mole riding a bike. So I'm going to make the prediction or do the thinking that it probably has something to do with mole riding his bike. Let's see as we head into the story. If I'm right, I'm also trying to find, remember, character, setting, beginning, middle, and end. Good readers should talk about all the important details when they tell a story, whether it's to a friend who has never heard it or just to themselves to make sure they're understanding what they're reading. All right, let's see. Bear picked books off the shelf. He put them in a bag. Ready, Mole? Asked Bear. Bear, I need some help, replied Mole. Mole grinned. These need to come off. I'm riding today, he declared. I'm going to stop. I want you to think about the first two, okay? Your character and your setting. Remember, we read the beginning. It's the first couple of pages, and you should be able to answer those two fingers or talk about those two fingers. Pause the video. Remember the ways that you can talk. You can think in your head, you can tell an adult, or you can just say it out loud. Hold your hand up nice and high. Touch your thumb. Think about the characters. Touch your pointer finger. Think about the setting. Stop the video and do that. Come back when you're done. All right, friends. Hopefully, when you talked about the character, you talked about Mole and Bear. That's the main character. That's the story, who the story is going to be about. Then when you talked about the setting, I would say the setting is going to be outside because Mole is riding his bike. Okay? Let's see. In a minute, we'll stop and we'll talk about the beginning. Let's read one more page. They removed, Bear checked, Mole tugged. I'm going to say in the beginning of this story, we have Mole who has asked his friend Bear to help him learn how to ride his bike without his training wheels. Okay? So that's also, remember at the beginning, sometimes we figure out the beginning and middle is a lot of times in a story where we figure out some of the problems. So I'm thinking that maybe as we read more, there's going to be some sort of problem with Mole learning how to ride his bike. Also, you can use your schema. Have you tried to ride a bike or learn how to ride a bike without training wheels? Think about how you felt and what happened. That's going to help you better understand a character who's trying to do the same thing. Let's read and think about the middle of our story. They hoisted, Mole packed, Mole snapped. At last, Mole was ready. Mole kicked off, Bear pushed. Wobble, 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 crash. Mole sobbed, I quit. Ooh, I'm going to stop because I need to think about a few things. I need to think about in the middle of this story, I'm starting to see a problem happen. And remember, middle of stories are a lot of times where a problem turns up. I'm going to say that in the middle of this story, we have Mole who is trying to learn how to ride his bike without the training wheels, and he crashes. I think I still need to add a little more to my middle, but I do want to stop, and then I'm going to have you try and add the rest. Okay? So let's read some more, and then you'll stop and you'll have a chance. I think you can, encouraged Bear. You do? Mole took a deep breath and wiped his eyes. Ready? Off we go. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Go, 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 shouted Bear. Faster, 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 said Mole. You're doing it, whooped Bear. Bump, bump, bump. Whoa, whoa, exhaled Mole. Look out, shouted Bear. Oh, dear, Bear grimaced. Flap, flap, flap. I'm going to read one more page and then you're going to try and tell me what happens in this part in the middle. Look out, called Bear. Scramble, scramble, scramble. Oh no, Bear sighed. We're going to stop. I want you to add to my middle. I started you off. Mole was having a hard time learning how to ride his bike without his training wheels. What happened in the rest of the middle? Think about that. Stop the video. Talk to an adult. Say it to yourself. Say it in your head. But we need to finish our middle. What's going on here? I'll give you a minute to stop the video, do your job, and then come back. All right, we had already decided in the middle, we had Mole who was having trouble riding his bike. Then I would add some details to that because I can't leave the rest off. That's important. I would say that even though the other animals were getting in Mole's way, he was doing a nice job riding his bike. So that's what's happening in the middle. Let's see about our end. I did it, hollered Mole. You certainly did, said Bear with a smile. I'm going to go to my pinky finger. That, remember, is the ending. And in the ending, we realize that Mole learns how to ride his bike, and Bear is very proud of him for learning how to do that. So there is a solution to the problem. In the beginning, we had Mole who, once he tried it and it was hard, said he wasn't going to do it again. But he fixes that problem by practicing and keeping at it. And then he realizes he can do it. So that's my 5-finger retelling. That's really important for readers to know how to do and to think about. Does it help them better understand the story? And if you can retell a story, that means you really have understood it. All right, happy reading.